All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to the Glen.
This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League Saturday Showdown Series heads to the road course at Watkins Glen International. It's a 40-lap race. It's race number 5 and one of 2 road courses on the season scheduled this year. We've got what it takes to tackle the first one here at the Glen. Well, we're going to find out who's going to get through that bus stop. Hang out, boys and girls. It's live right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, the Saturday Showdown Series switching gears here at Watkins Glen tonight. Race number 5. Who's got what it takes to tackle the Glen? All right, hey, thank you so much for coming in here to TurnLeftTV. Again, we got a good one here for you tonight. Watkins Glen, a little road course action, so this is going to be a fun one. At the end of practice session, have a little bit of a few things we had to get solved here. So I expect we're going to have more than 12 drivers. Looks like we got some more folks waiting to get in. I'm your host, Heath Johnson. This is Watkins Glen International 40-lap race here, and it is clearly the halfway point of the season and the first road course of 2 on the season schedule. I'm your broadcaster commentator, Heath Johnson. So, again, thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate you being here tonight. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server or maybe hosting your website or online store, please give EliteHostingUSA.com a look. That's who services our website and also our servers here at rFactor 2. Again, thanks so much for coming in here. Please join us at HighOctaneRacing.net. You'll get a quick link there to come to the Discord channel and join us for some racing. Also, get updates on season standings. And then also some stuff that's coming up, TurnLeftTV link, of course, and then who's running what throughout the week. You can jump in here and see under that rFactor 2 times link. The track here at Watkins Glen, 2.45 miles in length, 11 turns, and this is the short circuit with the bus stop. So a very fun circuit, I believe. I love Watkins Glen, a lot of fun. Really, in a stock car, it's a heck of a lot of fun. This is clearly halfway point. We've reached the halfway point here in the season. And you see Richmond coming up next week. That's going to be a fun race. 200 laps there and a great track. We had a hugely successful race last night in the Bushwhacker Series at Richmond. Homestead Miami Speedway coming up on April the 9th. Riverside, another road course. That's the second road course of 2 on April the 16th. Pocono Raceway, the Tricky Triangle on April the 23rd. And then don't forget about Kentucky Speedway to finish out the season on April the 30th here in the Showdown Series. Thanks for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Peace to everybody out there. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And also don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Really appreciate folks coming in here and watching the races here on TurnLeftTV. And a good one, a little road course action here tonight in the Stock Car Series. Don't forget you can share my videos with all your friends. They're all down there at the past live streams. And if you scroll down, you'll see some really good playlists, of course, as well. And you're welcome to share my videos with all your friends. In the description of this race is a link over to the Fanatec website if you'd like to visit them, see what they have in store. If you'd like to purchase something to them, please use my link. I appreciate all those folks who have done so. And just going to visit the website and see what they have. You might find that you're in the mood for a new controller, race controller, and be a good way to get a quick link to the Fanatec website. So again, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Saturday Night Thunder will be in action later tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's Hot Atlanta in the Saturday Night Thunder race number 7 of the season. 120 laps. We call this Beat the Broadcaster night. If you're interested in coming out and beating up on the broadcaster, you get a chance to do it here tonight. 120 laps at Hot Atlanta. Get out of the broadcast booth, get in the driver's seat, and see if I can't mix it up with these guys. So it should be a fun race. Come on out and join us. It's race number 7 of the season. Taking a look at Ricardo Almeida in the 22 car. He's making his qualification attempt right now. Starting his qualification lap. Bushwhacker Series will be back in action at Kansas Speedway for a 100-lap race. Final race of the season next week on March 25th, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And which has been a great series, great season. And Kansas is a great way to finish it off at great mile-and-a-half track. High line is in play at Kansas, believe me. Look at our track map there, just make sure that was working. Got about 3 minutes left in the qualification session. So far, Ricardo Almeida, the top time, 107.451. And Palumbo a little high on the tape setting here in the qualification session. Well, who got the big win last week at Phoenix? And that was Gary Madu. We had a green-white checker. And there was some shenanigans at the end right there. Contact with the 117 and the 27. More contact as they came through. And then big melee there. Brought out the caution flag. And Gary Madu in the right place at the right time to get the race win. So congratulations to Gary Madu on getting the win last week at Phoenix. Can you make it 2 in a row? Looks like qualifications are just about finished. MJ joining us in here, I believe. Refresh that. There we go. Givaldo in here as well. Creature Shock joining us. See those folks in here. And I'm guessing Givaldo is going to be rooting for himself. He's out here on the track here tonight. Right now, these guys are in the driver's meeting getting a few bits of information about the track, about the race. So I think we're going to end up having somewhere about 15, 16 drivers here. We got some guys waiting to get into the server. Looks like the qualification session has ended. Let's take a look at the results. Lucas Simpner with a 106.963 is shown as the top time. Leon Ganare starting in, or shown in the second position. Well, those are the practice results. Oh my God. There we go. Woo, man, I almost heard it for MJ. Ricardo Almeida, the top time, 107.451. Lucas Simpner, 107.578. Gary Madu starts in the third position. Leon Ganari will start fourth. Paul Brown starts in the fifth position. Ed Palumbo starts sixth. Tim Lansbury starts in the seventh position. Givaldo Spindola starts eighth. Will Dunbar starts in the ninth position. And John Stanley starts in 10th. Starting in the 11th position will be Preston Hassan. Jim Willis starts in 12th, and we actually got 13th and 14th. That's Johan Tavares, Alexander Meshkov in 14th, and it looks like we got a couple other guys here waiting to join us. So we are now in a 10-minute warm-up session. Again, thanks so much for coming in here, and let's enjoy. This is TurnLeftTV, and we have a great Showdown Series race here for you tonight. All right, just under 6 minutes left to go in the warm-up session. Now 16 drivers in here. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you some of my my keys to the race. How about that? Keys to the race here at Watkins Glen for maybe being able to bring that car home in victory lane. Take a look at the keys here. Race the track, man. I'll tell you what, race this track. That's what you got to do. Just hit your marks and braking points. Pick your spots to pass here. It's going to be, you can't pass everywhere on this track. Even though you might think you are faster than that person, you're not going to be able to make passes in certain parts of this track. So you got to pick your spots. When are good places to pass? When are not good places to pass? That bus stop, man, you got to be able to be patient through the bus stop. And it's a rhythm thing, I think. Really get a good setup going into the bus stop, but it's just a rhythm thing through there. Pit stop speed limit. This thing goes downhill on the backside of that pit stop. So it's uphill, crowns, and then goes downhill. Don't get caught speeding. So remember that pit stop speed limit, I think, is 50 miles an hour. And then tire TLC. Don't overdrive this track, man. Try to stay in on your line, hit your marks. Don't over brake it. Don't try to overdrive the turns, because if you use up the tires, you're going to be not in good shape later in the run. It's a 50-minute race here tonight. So it is 144 or 40 laps. My God, it's 40 laps tonight. So I don't know where I'm at. At a minute and a half left before we get the command to start the engines. We'll take a look at the point standings coming into tonight's race. Ricardo Almeida there, the top points, 154 points. Claudio Bardelli Jr., good tight battle there with those two guys. Is second. Stanislav Pavlov is third. Stanislav having trouble getting into the server here today. Valda Spindle fourth, Gary Madu fifth, Sean Jacobs sixth, Paul Brown seventh, Kent Thomas eighth, Mike Schreiner is ninth, John Stanley 10th. Coming into tonight's race. You see the second half of that point standings. Alexander Beshkov down through Dennis Udich and Eugene Zavrago 12th, Ed Palumbo 13th, Archie Giada 14th, Preston Hassel 15th. Paulo Gouveia, Tony Furtado, Jim Willis, Danilo Coelho, and Dennis Udichin rounding out the top 20. All right, boys and girls, it is that time. Time to get this bad boy started here. This is Watkins Glen road course headed your way. You're in the High Octane Racing League Saturday Showdown Series. All right, here we go.
And now, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, star of the upcoming comedy Unfinished Business, Vince Vaughn.
Drivers, start your engine!
All right, the starting order. Lucas Simpner starts in P1. Paul Brown starts in the second position. Gary Madu will start third. Artur Vieta starts in the fourth position. Starting in fifth will be Leon Ganari. Jair Oliveira starts in sixth. Tim Lansbury seventh. Jim Willis starts in the eighth position. Starting in ninth will be Johan Tavares. Preston Hassel starts 10th. Alexander Meshkov starts in the 11th position. Givaldo Spindola starts in the 12th spot. Starting in 11th is Ricardo Almeida. Ed Palumbo starts 14th. Will Dunbar 15th. John Stanley starts in the 16th position. So Ricardo Almeida will lead the field to take the green flag. One of our stock car, our IndyCar aficionados. Good in road courses, good in Indy cars, and good in stock cars. Ricardo Almeida, the 22. Lucas Simpner will start in the second position. Gary Madu starts third. Leon Ganari starts in the fourth spot. Paul Brown will start fifth, and Palumbo starts in the sixth position. This is going to be a wild one into turn one, that's for sure. 16 drivers joining us here. Pace car is off. Here we go. Watkins Glen, 40 laps here in the Showdown Series. Already fanning out coming out of turn one. By heavens. Ricardo Almeida opened up a little bit of a gap there on Lucas Simpner, who's in the second position. Gary Madu is in third. Leon Ganari fourth. Paul Brown is in fifth. Take a look at Paul Brown here as we approach the bus stop. This is where things get a little bit interesting. As Paul Brown makes it through. But he seemed to be making it through pretty cleanly there. So Almeida leading the 22 car. Going to lead lap one. Take a look at this pass here with Jair Oliveira. Goes down to the inside. That gets around that 27 car. So Jair Oliveira now up to the 13th position. Preston Hassel back to 14. Artur Vieta and John Stanley battling it out through the S's. John Stanley in the inside. Artur Vieta in that 9 car makes that pass. John Stanley trying to play a little defense there on Jair Oliveira. So Artur Vieta now up to the 11th position as they enter the bus stop. On board here with him. The 88 just ahead as Artur Vieta running in 11th. Will Dunbar just ahead in the 10th position. Ricardo Almeida continuing to lead there as Lucas Simpner closing in. Those guys have run away just a little bit on the rest of the pack. Jim Willis here trying to get around. Oh, we got some got somebody in that inside wall. It looked like Jair Oliveira is in the pit entrance wall, so he's had some trouble. Something's happened to Jair Oliveira. We'll take a look. Take a look and see what happened to Jair Oliveira. He gets in. Oh, he and John Stanley get together. John Stanley down pit lane. There was contact. And Jair Oliveira hard into those barrels. Take a look here and see what happened. This is coming off the turn. Things are going to get tight right here, I think. John Stanley gets a little bit cattywampus, gets into the 117 car right there, and then those guys both into the John Stanley's going to get a speeding penalty, I think. And 117, he has got some big-time damage. Now the 12 car is going to have to do a drive-through because of the speeding penalty, speeding, and Jair Oliveira is going to come in to get some service done on that machine. So a couple guys here now coming down pit lane. Just looked like John Stanley off that last turn got a little bit loose and lost the back end of that car and slid into the 117 car. Stanislav Pavlov did not get in to join us in the race. He's now in the chat session, and what a absolute bummer there for him. Not being able to get connected. You know, with everything going on in the world, there may be some issues there as far as, relays and connections to servers that finally get you here. That is a darn shame right there. Stanislav was definitely going to be one of those guys in contention here tonight. Lucas Simpner running in that second position. He is all over the back of Ricardo Almeida. Good 1-2 battle here. These guys have got about a 2.5-second lead on the rest of the field. Gary Madu running in the third position. Will Dunbar, Artie Vieira here continuing to battle. Will Dunbar in the 88. Artie Vieira in that 9 car. And Artie Vieira's making some moves here, but Will Dunbar keeping him honest. A good battle there between the two of those guys. Good clean battle as the 88 reclaiming that position. He doesn't want to be denied. His road course program has really improved. Now Artie Vieira looking on the inside in that 9 car through the bus stop. As you see also Johan Tavares in there as well. Take a look at Preston Hassel here in the 27 car. Said he doesn't feel that confident with the road course program, but nonetheless wants to get a good finish here. This 27 quick sponsor machine right now running in the 12th position. Gary Madu is kind of out there by himself right now in third. About 3 seconds off the race lead in this KISS sponsored machine as he enters the bus stop. We got a good battle there behind, and that is Paul Brown, Leon Ganari. These guys having a good battle here. Paul Brown in the 41, and Leon Ganari in that 32. Paul Brown losing it a little bit, losing it back into that car a little bit, coming off the turn, and Ganari is going to get around. Ganari was in the right place at the right time on that one. He was able to make that pass. Taking over a spot there, and he's now in the 4th position. Take a look here out of Leon Ganari's machine. Here's what happened. The Paul Brown coming through the bus stop does not quite exit the bus stop quite as well, and it gets this car a little bit loose right there. Has to hang on to that thing, and Leon Ganari gets by, picks up 4th spot. Paul Brown now back to 5th. Take a look at Ed Palumbo here in the 11 car coming off turn 1. Oh, and he gets onto that overrun area. You can use that, but it gets loose and hits that inside wall. So the 11 car having some issues as the field coming up, and we've got a tight battle here. The Ricardo Almeida, and I'll tell you, Ed's going to lose a couple positions there. It looked like Artevieta, Will Dunbar, Givaldo had gotten by as well. We'll take a look at Givaldo Spindola. This is Will Dunbar in the 88, Givaldo in that 00 car. Look at that. Those guys coming up on Ed Palumbo trying to right the ship. You're coming off the turn. Right there's Ed Palumbo. And then everybody gets it sorted out, looks like. Well, that got a little wild. Ricardo Almeida, the leader in this 22 car, but I tell you, Lucas Sinfeder has not let him get away. They are nose to tail. Lucas Sinfeder now looking on the low side. He feels like maybe this is time to pick up a position here, go through the bus stop and try to set up a pass. Ricardo Almeida doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but when he does, he's able to bounce back from those. Kind of an uncanny ability to be able to bounce back from mistakes and get that car back in contention. Take a look at Leon Ganare here running in the 4th position in his 32 car. He's opened up a little bit of a gap there on Paul Brown after getting around him. But still pretty tight battle up there in P4, P5. 32 having a good run here. Likes these road courses of our Caribbean drivers. And Palumbo trying to get this spot back from a little wide right there. It gets that spot back from Givaldo Spindola. Now he picks up P8. Take a look at some trouble here. I think Jair Oliveira had some more trouble after damage there, pretty significant damage. He spins coming through the overrun area, and the car comes around on him. Then retires the machine. So a tough break there for Paul Brown's gotten back around Leon Ganare, so we'll take a look at that pass. A little bit earlier here, taking a look at this pass as Paul Brown bouncing back from a little bit of a scooch there after he exited the bus stop. Got that car a little bit loose and was able now to recover and get back around the 32 car. Those guys having a great battle there, 32 and the 41. Excellent battle. Take a look. Will Dunbar here having a good race, running in the 7th position. As I mentioned, man, that road course program has improved a great deal. Been working with some folks there at iRacing to improve that program. Had a good race there in the GT3 series event earlier this week. Right now running in the 7th position and maybe closing in on Artevieta for P6. We might see a good top 5 effort out of the 88 car here tonight. Johan Tavares in the doubles in the 36 car as a 00 of Givaldo Spindola goes off track. Those guys both using that overrun area, and that is legal. Tim Lansbury in the 82, haven't heard a lot out of him tonight. This 82 car, Skyline Chili Ford Mustang, and he's slowly closing in on these two. Looking out of the front of Tim Lansbury's machine, you see Johan Tavares and Givaldo Spindola just ahead coming through this bus stop. This is a home track for the 82. He's from that Watkins Glen area of New York. We got a good battle just ahead as Givaldo Spindola and the 36, Leon Ganare, Johan Tavares battling it out. Look at that, Johan to the inside. Going to set himself up for a pass here. Around that final turn, and Johan gets around. Givaldo losing a position now. Tim Lansbury coming down pit lane. He's making a pit stop here. Starting to see some guys make pit stops. Ricardo Almeida is our leader. Lucas Simpler in second. Gary Madu third. Paul Brown fourth. Mark Rivera rounding out the top 10. These guys starting to roll up in some lap traffic now. You see the 82 car finishing up his pit stop. He's coming back out on track. Almeida down to the inside here through the bus stop. Working that wheel as he tries to get around. John Stanley's going to give him a lot of room. It looks like the 12. John Stanley's got a little bit of damage, so the leader going to get by. You see John Stanley tuck in. Lucas Simpler going to try to sneak by as well. Take a look at Alexander Meshkov. Mr. Cool as a cucumber. Cucumber on the Subway sandwich. Driving that Subway sponsor machine, number 77 right now, running in the 12th position. Trying to close in on Leon Ganare and also Preston Hassel. And that battle just ahead of him is starting to heat up a little bit. We'll take a look at Preston Hassel here in the 27. It's the 32. Leon Ganare trying to get around. Leon did a little crossover move there on Preston. Leon trying to figure out which side he wants to go with. Wants that inside line coming into turn 10. And that gets that spot on the 27 car. Well, Leon Ganare now picking up a spot up to the 10th position. Preston Hassel back to 11th. Paul Brown indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane as we got some more guys on pit lane. Preston Hassel on pit lane in the 27 car. And Ricardo Almeida continuing to lead. And Almeida coming down pit lane. The 22 making a pit stop. Here on lap 13, Ed Palumbo's got a penalty. Ed Palumbo, I think, might have gotten a speeding penalty. Preston Hassel's finished up that pit stop, coming back out on track here. The 12, actually in the 27 car. As Lucas Simpler continuing to lead. Ricardo Almeida has finished up his pit stop. Returning to the track, and Luca, I would imagine, is going to be making a pit stop here fairly soon. He's squeezing out the fuel mileage there. Maybe wants to try to make it to lap 20. Can he do it? Making a one-stop race for him. See Will Dunbar finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. As Lucas Simpler follows behind the 21 car. Will Dunbar a one lap down as he goes by. Will Dunbar in the 88 here tonight. Johan Tavares getting around Ed Palumbo as Ed Palumbo serving that speeding penalty. Ed Palumbo making a boo-boo there. Had to come back down pit lane. He got caught speeding. He's now back out on track. see if we can get our graphic to work here. See if we can get our graphic to work. Ed Palumbo gets caught speeding. Uh-oh, there's the copper right there. I got to get a better graphic on that. How about that? Speeding penalty for Ed Palumbo. So he's the benefactor, our first use of that little graphic there. He's kind of playing around. A little work to do. Lucas Simper on pit lane. He's a little cattywampus in his pit stall. Making service. 21 car as Ricardo Almeida. I wonder if he will end up taking the lead again here. 22 coming around the turn. And Lucas Simper, I think, gets out ahead of Ricardo Almeida. And Lucas is going to be on fresher tires as well. So not quite to halfway. We're definitely going to need another pit stop out of that 21 car. But now out to a clear lead over Ricardo Almeida. So this guy's got a pretty sizable lead on the field. DN4 not too far behind. At 5 seconds or so. There's Leon Ganari going by, and next you should see, I think, Artiviera, assuming we're not going to be looking at right there's John Stanley with a little bit of damage there. Jim Willis in the 53, a couple lap down cars. Talked about Jim Willis. Likes those short tracks. He's going to come out here and knock it out here in the road course in this 53 Black Rifle Coffee Company machine. Right now running in the 15th position. He is one lap down of our Florida drivers. Waldo Spindola and Preston Hassel here still battling it out. Good run here for both these guys. Battling it out for the 11th position. Right now Preston in the 11th and Givaldo is running in the 12th position. Actually now those guys in 13th. Beshkov has rejoined. Take a look at Lucas Simpler here leading as Ricardo Almeida really starting to close the gap a little bit on Luca. Ricardo is on a little bit older tires now, maybe a couple laps separate those two as far as tires are concerned. Ricardo Almeida here trying to close back in on Lucas Simpler. Problem is for Luca, I think, is that once you give Ricardo Almeida a target, he's gonna hit it. So I think there's a target right now on the back of that 21 car. He wants to get up there. See if he can slingshot around. He is closing in on the 21. Now, the 21 might be doing a little fuel save strategy here, too. See what he's got up his sleeve. This is a battle for the race lead. 21, Lucas Simpler. 22, Ricardo Almeida. 1-2. Coming off the turn 11 down the front stretch. Almeida want to try to set up a pass here coming into the turn. Ricardo Almeida down to the inside line here into turn 1. Side by side, and Lucas Simpler is going to give him that spot. He's going to try the old crossover move. He had to back off there a little bit, even shifting. Now Ricardo Almeida back to the race lead. Lucas Simpler going to try to beat him back down into the bus stop here. Very interesting place here to try to pass somebody. Good battle right there. Take a look at the 88. Will Dunbar now up to the 7th position after the pit stops have played out. And I think Givaldo Spindola coming down pit lane here, that 00 car. So Spindola in the 15th position making a pit stop. He is one lap down. Take a look at Paul Brown. He's gotten around Gary Madu. Now taking over the 3rd position. Gary Madu back in 4th. Take a look at that pass, I thought, on with Gary Madu and little bit later. It looks like that pass already transpired there. We missed that. Here, Madu now back to the 4th position. Jair Oliveira out of the race. What a tough break there for JJ as we pull up his name. Lap traffic in play now with that 27 car giving the front 2 a lot of room. Check on Tim Lansbury here having a good battle with Ed Palumbo. Lansbury on the outside in this turn as Ed Palumbo in the 11 car gets by the 82. Now falling back to the 9th position is Ed Palumbo making a run. Now he's running in the 8th position. Ed Palumbo in the 11 car here with 20 laps to go. Well, halfway. Got Leon Gadari coming down pit lane here in his 32 car. So maybe thinking about trying to make it to the end here with this one pit stop. He's given up the 4th position to come down pit lane. Look at Archie Vieira in the 9 car. Out there by himself right now. Had a good battle earlier with Will Dunbar. Now has opened up that gap. Now running at P5. One of our great Brazilian drivers. Johan Tavares running in the 9th position in the 36 car. He and Preston Hassel have been sort of battling there quite a bit, but Preston Hassel now has sort of fallen back a little bit, and now Alexander Meshkov closing in on him. Preston Hassel running in the 11th position. Take a look out of the back of his car at Alexander Meshkov. Running in the 12th position. Meshkov in the Subway-sponsored machine, running in P11 as Preston Hassel opens up a gap. Take a look at this pass here. Alexander Meshkov getting around Preston Hassel. Meshkov going to the inside as Preston Hassel. He got that car a little squirrely right there. Wasn't the pass we were looking for. That caused Preston Hassel to open up a gap. John Stanley, after making contact with the wall, and right there, Archie Vieira coming around the turn, maybe a little kiss there on the John Stanley car. John Stanley now in the 13th position as Archie Vieira gets by. Archie Vieira actually running in P5, but John Stanley had gotten loose coming off turn 11 and then got into Jair Oliveira, and John actually ended up going down pit lane, get a speeding penalty, and then JJ got into the pit entrance wall. He had a massive amount of damage. Tim Lansbury here in the 82 car, now running in the 11th position. Leon Gadare and Will Dunbar here battling. Will Dunbar gets a little bit wide, coming down off turn 11, down the front stretch as the 32 to the inside. Now gets around, so Leon Gadare now up to the 6th position. Not so fast. Will Dunbar gets a good run. Make something out of it. No, he can't, as Leon hangs onto that spot. For continuing to lead here in that 21 car. 22, Ricardo Almeida is in second. It's my understanding, and MJ would be able to tell you better than I would, certainly, but it's my understanding that he is Portuguese, but living in Canada. JJ in here asking in the chat session, asking some questions about Ricardo Almeida. Probably recognizes the phonetics of the last name. 21, Luca Simfner leading Ricardo Almeida. These guys have been in each other's zip code all night long. Don't forget, just back there closing in 3 seconds back is the 41 of Paul Brown. He is closing in on that front two, just 3 seconds back. And once those guys start getting into a little bit of a fist fight, Paul Brown in the 41 car is going to be there. A little bit of a rough patch in that first run. But 3 seconds back. Looks like another penalty for Ed Palumbo. Uh-oh. Where's the graphic? Ed Palumbo, another speeding penalty. I think it's easy to do that, man. Coming downhill on pit lane, it's easy to speed. Take a look at Tim Lansbury here running in the 10th position. He is kind of out there by himself right now, but closing in on Preston Hassel. Hassel running in P9. Had a little bit of work to do, about 3.7 seconds. Actually, it looks like Hassel might be coming down pit lane in that 27 car. As Preston Hassel making a pit stop here. Take a look at our side-by-side view. I don't know what happened to the, I can't get the broadcast overlays to work correctly over on the other computer that I'm having right now, but I don't know why it's up with the OBS. I updated OBS, and I think that had something to do with it. But so it's a little one. Preston Hassel finishing up that pit stop, coming back out on track. Luca Simfner continuing to lead here, lap 26. Suggested these guys are going to have to come back down pit lane. Taking that inside is Luca Simfner. To break the draft a little bit from the 22 car. Take a look at Gary Madu as he comes down pit lane. Make his final pit stop. Oh, right there, almost gets into the 53 car. Almost got into the 53. Did you see that? Watch this as he's coming down pit lane right there. The 53 comes out, and evasive move by the KISS sponsor machine to stay out of the side of 53 of Jim Willis. Jim Willis out on track after making pit stop. Ricardo Almeida is coming down pit lane here, the 22 car. Final pit stop for him, so maybe he's trying to play the hand here, force the hand of Luca Simfner. Luca staying out there on track in that 21 car. Gary Madu has finished up that pit stop, now back in the 6th position. That KISS sponsor machine. John Stanley, Alexander Meshkov having a good battle here. This is for the 11th position. These guys one lap down. Also, like the 32, he is caught. Oh my gosh, man, what a crazy little deal right there. That was a little crazy. That got a little wild, I believe. Take a look here as Meshkov, he's coming off to make a pit stop right here. Looking out the back of his machine, hopefully. A little bit too late. As those guys, he's coming down pit lane as those guys go by. Not the camera angle I wanted. It's a little complex getting to some of these camera angles that I want. That got crazy right there. Look at that. Split in the middle there is the 32 car. As Beshkoff comes down pit lane, John Stanley didn't know what to do with it. 32 was trying to sneak through. He does. Now getting around the 63. Oh, contact! Contact with the 63 car. Leon Ganare spins. He had just made a pit stop and then also got around the 63 car. Let's take a look at that replay. Leon Ganare in the 32 gets a little bit loose right here, comes across the track right in front of that KISS sponsor machine. He was just absolutely wrecked right there. Boy, here on board here with Gary Badu, and he's going to see Leon Ganare get crazy, crazy loose and come across his nose, and that's going to give him pretty significant damage. John Stanley does a great job of missing that, even though he's not fighting for position there. He's on board with John Stanley. He barely escapes getting into the 32. He does a good job of getting over 32. A lot of damage there. '21, Lucas Simpner has been on pit lane, finished up his pit stop. He's back out. He's got a pretty sizable lead, I believe, over. Take a look at the updated standings. There you go, 1.5 second lead over Ricardo Almeida. So Almeida, with here just about 11 laps to go, is going to have to put the moves on here. Take a look at Paul Brown here in the 41. He is now 2.7 seconds back. So he's a little closer to that front group, but got a little bit of work to do to get up there with Ricardo Almeida. We got 10 laps to go. And Simpner now opened up a 2-second gap over Ricardo Almeida. Paul Brown in third. Gary Badu is in fourth. Now Badu's got some pretty significant damage here on the front of that car that he's dealing with now. He's just trying to limp that thing home. Archivieta having a good run here, running in the top 5 in that 9 car. A good run for Archivieta. He is a little bit back from P5. Pretty significant amount of time there, about 30 seconds or so. But nonetheless, having a good top 5 run, and he's kind of out there by himself right now. This battle here has started to heat up. This is for the second position. The 22 of Ricardo Almeida is in P2 as Paul Brown running in the third position. These guys are pretty tight here. Want to get into a little bit of a fist fight here before it's over with. As Lucas Simpner's got a pretty sizable lead on these guys. Get out of the front of Lucas Simpner's machine. Starting to close in. Looks like we got somebody up there smoking. Little heat in that car. 32, I believe. The 88, Will Dunbar in the sort of sandwiched in between P1, P2. Might play a little defense, help out Team Luca. 2.6 second gap. Doesn't really look like Team Luca needs much help here as he is running away from P2. Paul Brown is in third. Gary Badu fourth. Archivieta rounding out the top 5. Leon Ganare is 6th. Will Dunbar 7th. Tim Lansbury running in the 8th position. Ed Palumbo's had a pretty eventful night. He's running in 9th. Preston Hassel rounding out the top 10. Good battle here as John Stanley and Johan Tavares here getting after it. With those guys one lap down, swapping some positions around. So it looks like Leon Ganare. He's got a little bit of an overheating problem. Look, John Stanley missing that turn as Leon in the 32 has upped that tape. He's starting to puff a little smoke here. Simfer getting around the 12 of John Stanley. Here on lap 33, we cross the start-finish line. We start lap 34, scheduled to go 40 laps. Hey, we've been caution-free. That's an inside joke. Starting to get a little dicey up there ahead as Lucas Simfer running into some lap traffic now. Like Leon Ganare, his car is smoking. As the 21 going to get by that 32 car. The rule is that if you smoke continuously for a whole lap, you got to come down pit lane and take some tape off that car. Jim Willis there having a hard time. And Ricardo Almeida there, he's having to work his way through traffic. Take a look at this. Ricardo Almeida coming into the bus stop. He's got a whole lot of traffic in front of him. He's going to try to get around 20 or the 12 car as quickly as he can. And he does. He gets around the 12. He is trying to waste no time, but now 3.2 second gap separates he and Leon Ganare. And look at that. Excuse me. He and Lucas Simfer. Lucas Simfer having to weave his way through traffic. Again, Leon Ganare coming down, or he's going to have to come down pit lane, I think, and take some tape off that thing. There's where it stops puffing smoke. But definitely close to overheating there. Ricardo Almeida, the 22, running in second. So these guys sort of locked in right now a little bit as Paul Brown slings that car around the turn. He is trying to get through. Will Dunbar and John Stanley here. Ow! Will Dunbar in the 88 getting into the back of that 12 car. Holy smokes, did you see that? Will Dunbar here into the back of the staple gun. Little shot there from the 88 car just to let him know he was there. Preston Hassel and Johan Tavares battling it out as you see Preston Hassel giving up a spot as the 36 car gets by. Leon Ganare is on pit lane, it looks like, taking service here, maybe taking some tape off that car. Well, on pit lane is Leon Ganare. 21 of Lucas Sifner. Looks like he is on his way to victory. At a 7.5 second lead over Ricardo Almeida. And that lap traffic is something to be mentioned because it has really caused some of these guys some problems. Ricardo Almeida had to really battle about 3 or 4 cars to get through them. And that's hurt him late in this run. He's 7.5 seconds back off the race lead. Paul Brown, same deal. Having to a lot more trouble with lap traffic. Gary Madu running in the 4th position in that 63 car. He's got a little front end damage I think he's dealing with. RJ Vieira rounding out the top 5 in this 9 car. He's now looking to try to get around Tim Lansbury. Now, although that is not for position. Lansbury running in the 9th position here as they come into the bus stop. Art Vieira pulls off that pass. As Lucas Sifner now on cruise control. And I think, he's been strong. He and Ricardo Almeida were sort of matching laps in the first part of that race. But as that second round of pit stops, or that first round of pit stops shook out, 21 car found himself running away from the field here a little bit. We'll take a look at John Stanley. Oh, John Stanley getting into the fence right there. John Stanley, I think lost the back end of that car and got into the fence. So the 12 car, tough damage there for him. What the heck happened? Paul Brown on pit lane here late in the race. Alexander Meshkov here to gain in a position now. He is up to the 12th spot. He gets around. Looks like Preston Hassel has retired his machine. It's a tough break there for Preston Hassel. Well, Lucas Sifner now crossing the start-finish line, has 1 lap to go. And a comfortable lead for him. Ricardo Almeida in second. Paul Brown has had to make a pit stop, and that brings Gary Madu to the 3rd position. Paul Brown comes back out in 4th. Arte Vieira is in 5th. Well, I had a feeling that the 21 car might be the car to beat here tonight. He's got something figured out as far as these road courses are concerned. So here he is coming into turn 10. Cruising to victory here is the 21. Lucas Sifner now coming around turn 11. And the 21 car of Lucas Sifner is going to get the race win here at the Glen. So congratulations to the 21 of Lucas Sifner on getting the win. Ricardo Almeida will finish in second. Burning it down. So congratulations to Lucas Simpner in the 21 car. So another winner here in the Saturday Showdown Series. Let's take a look at the final results here in the Showdown Series. Lucas Simpner gets the win. Ricardo Almeida finishes in second. Gary Madu finishes in the third position. Archie Vieira fourth. Paul Brown retired his machine for some reason. Maybe had some damage or whatever, but finishes in the fifth position. Will Dunbar, good run there for him, finishes in sixth. Leon Ganari finishes in the seventh position. Ed Palumbo eighth. Tim Lansbury finishes in the ninth position. Johan Tavares finishes in the 10th spot. Finishing in 11th is John Stanley. Alexander Beshkov finishes in the 12th position. Jim Willis finishes in the 13th position. Preston Hassel finishes 14th. Valdo Spindola finishes in the 15th position. And Jair Oliveira finishes in 16th. You could get a good background here. We'll see if we can't get the race winner up here in the booth with us. Well, Lucas Simpner getting the win. I don't know why we got that off the screen there, but get that car on the screen. There we go. Getting the win here at the Glen. All right, we're joined up here in the booth with our race winner of the 21, Lucas Simpner. And I have to say, coming into this race, I think you were probably the favorite to win this, or at least one of the favorites. Talk about that race.
I thought, I was kind of spooked. A lot of people were getting really, really fast times, qualifying. I didn't even start on the pole. I made a huge mistake in turn one. And I was thinking that I might not even win this. I'll probably make a mistake somewhere. I'll probably spin out, just like Paul probably did. But regardless, maybe I got a little lucky, and it just turned out to work really well in the end.
Well, it looked like that first round of pit stops was where you were able to separate yourself from Ricardo Almeida, but that first run with him had to be a lot of fun. That you guys swapping positions a couple times, but they're definitely nose to tail throughout that run.
That first run, I was kind of unsure about it. My engine almost started smoking a couple times, so I had to pull out a lot, even though I didn't really want to pass him too much. And on the second stint, I was a little scared at the first bit, so I think he got to pass me at that point. But then by the end of the stint, I had two or three lap newer tires, and got past him by the end of the stint.
And it looked like lap traffic on those last two stints there were definitely a factor with some of those guys. Even you had your bouts with trying to weave your way through guys racing, for position.
Yeah, a lot of them were, pretty close together. Like you'd see two at a time, and it'd be really hard to get both, past both of them, especially in the same second or two. And so you'd either have to get by both of them or none of them, and you'd probably lose a lot of time. And I did, there was one period there was I lost maybe a second or so to Ricardo, just because the difference between me and him and a lap car, I couldn't pass the lap car. It would have been too unsafe.
It looked like he had a good run team-wise as well. Will Dunbar finishes in the 6th position, so a good night here for Team Luca.
A great day for Team Luca. Numbers top 6. 2 in the top 6. That's great. Unfortunately, couldn't capitalize on Paul Brown's misfortune, but I don't think he'll complain with the 6th place. I think he'll be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, you obviously don't know Paul Brown very well. Hey, man, congratulations. Good run for you. Good to see you in victory lane. And another one here at these road courses. You've got something figured out. The rest of these guys are playing catch-up right now, so great job.
Thank you. And I got to say, Riverside's going to be, a really interesting one. We'll have to see Riverside. I don't think anyone's done Riverside in these cars, so we'll have to see how that goes.
All right, bud. I'll be excited to see that, man. Have a good rest of the season. So that's Lucas Simpler up here in the booth with us and getting the race win, and he's already looking forward to Riverside and that road course coming up in a few weeks. So we'll take a look at the schedule here. Richmond next week, a little short track action. You got Homestead Miami Speedway, a beast in itself. Love that track. And then Riverside International on April the 16th, another road course, 40 laps at a classic road course in California. Pocono Raceway headed your way on April the 23rd. And then also Kentucky Speedway finishing out the season 100-lap race there, that mile-and-a-half track on April the 30th. We got some more racing headed your way in just a little while. Coming up here tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Saturday Night Thunder at Atlanta. 120 laps from hot Atlanta in the Great Cup Series, race number 7 of the season. And this should be a fun one, man, so you don't want to miss that. You want to come out and join us, you're more than welcome to do. We call this Beat Up the Broadcaster night. So I get out of the broadcast booth, get in the driver's seat, and mix it up with the best just to see if I can hang. And I have a lot of fun, man. Really a lot less stressful to get in the car and drive around with these guys, and it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of laughs, and come on out and join us here on a good Saturday night race, Saturday night series with the Saturday Night Thunder. I want to say thank you so much for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Peace to everybody out there. This has been a good race here, a good weekend here so far. A little road course to mix it up. And Lucas Simpler takes a win. Congratulations to him. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I would appreciate that. You can share my videos with all your friends. And don't forget, down in the description of this race is the Fenatech website link. If you decide you want to give those guys a look, please use my link. And that way, if you buy something, you can use my link to help me out here at TurnLeftTV. Thanks to all those folks who have done so. If you'd like to make a donation, you can go up in the banner of this channel and click on that link, on that Please Donate to My Channel link, and help me out here. Thanks to all those folks who do so. Really appreciate that. It's been a good night here, and I think it's going to be a great weekend. LeadHostingUSA.com provides the service for this tonight's race, and also the website, iOctaneRacing.net. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. I am out of here.